welcome back to... We didn't name this series, did we? Doesn't matter. If you're watching this and you notice we're in the same clothes, yes, we are, bitch. We filmed every single one of these inside of one day. First. Second, we're talking about the reboot of King of the Hill. Again, this one, Bobby Gets Grilled. I don't think we've said the name of a single episode.
We haven't.
I don't think we've mentioned the name of the episode a single time yet.
I don't even know if we said it in the episode, number.
This is episode 3, Bobby Gets Grilled. Bitch, tune the fuck in and sit the fuck down. We're talking about it. I took very little notes on this because it wasn't that good of an episode. Okay, apparently I thought it was a very good episode when I watched it because I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was a very good episode, just not a lot happened. Alright. Let's hop into this bitch. So, the very first thing I have wrote down is that grown Bobby feels like natural progression. Watching Bobby be a grown-up, it feels like I'm watching a whole new show. It doesn't really feel like I'm watching a King of the Hill reboot, a King of the Hill new season, whatever. It kind of feels like a whole new show. The animation style, the jokes, everything. Bobby and his little group of whatever the fuck he's got going on is my favorite part of the new show, which has never been true because originally it was Bobby, Hank, and Peggy and the 4 guys in the alley. They were my favorite parts of the old show. But now it's I really like to see Bobby run the restaurant. I really like to see Bobby dealing with adulthood things. But I think it's because it feels like a new show and it doesn't feel like it's trying to be King of the Hill because we've never seen Bobby as 21 before. The rest of it kind of feels like it's trying to be King of the Hill, you know? Yeah. There's also this fun little discourse in the beginning of this episode about Bobby not using propane. And it's never one time brought up that when Luann had a cookout and cooked with charcoal, Bobby and Peggy both fucking loved that more than they loved Hank's cooking. They say that. They're like, this is better than when Dad cooked. They did a whole thing where they hid it and they would go out. Yeah, and then Hank was like, there's soot under our boy's nails, Peggy. It makes sense to me that he would use charcoal. I can't speak on all of the people not selling him charcoal because I am white. But I do think it makes a lot of sense for him to use charcoal. This episode felt a lot like King of the Hill trying to do what do you call it? Social commentary on y'all cancel everybody for doing everything. And I don't really like that. The episode was good, but I don't like that message, you know? And it feels like Bobby makes specific mention of when Nancy comes in and she's like, I love the way this bitch is decorated. And, and Bobby's like, yeah, make sure it's all ethically fucking sourced. Shut up. We don't need more social commentary of everybody gets canceled for everything. Shut up. You know? That's just not a good message. It's okay for people to not want... Stop. That's closer to the camera than my mouth is. It's okay for people to not want other cultures to be using their cultures or whatever. And I understand that they're Bobby's using it the correct way. But at the same time, shut up. Because who are you as a white person to tell other people how a white person should be using somebody else's culture? Needed to get that out of the way. Next. I wrote down, I really like that Hank says, that boy ain't right. And then I'm pretty sure is it Peggy that goes, he's not a boy, he's a man. And then he goes, well, that man ain't right. That was really funny, and I really liked that. Because I think that boy ain't right is one of Hank's catchphrases. And changing it to that man ain't right is just funny. That made me laugh a whole lot. And you ladybird. Oh my god. Speaking of ladybird, keep this in. They can't see me and that's fine. Somebody, I was reading a review of it, of King of the Hill, somebody said, I want to know what happened to Lady Bird. She died, you idiot. What do you mean you want to know what happened to her? She's dead. She was like 13 years old when that show started.
She's reaching her end. It probably, like, she died like 1 year after the season ended.
Yeah, there was several episodes that showed us that Lady Bird was aging. God, dude. Alright, we've got to get this together now so we can continue with this video. Hi! We look like this now. Odie, don't lick me right now, you idiot. I have it wrote down that I love Chain, and I really do. I love Chain's new character. It makes a lot of sense. I love that he's just like an absolute douchebag all the time. I think Chain is actually funny this time. Big yawn, BCBL. But like, Chain as a character is probably my top 5 favorite characters of the reboot. Peggy is probably number 1, and then it's probably Bobby, and then maybe Chain. Like, I love Chain that much. Chain continuously makes me laugh. Every time he's on screen, he's very funny. Like, I don't know what it is about the way they wrote Chain, but they wrote him to be so funny to me. And so I really like Chain this whole time. I don't mind Chain's voice. Like, I feel like it's progressed well.
He looks like the old him, but also like an older version.
Yeah, like he looks like a 20-year-old Chain. Really liked it. Chain was song. Shout out to you. Yeah. For some reason, I thought he was a Super Nuisance phone just now, and I was like, no, he's fucking not, you idiot. And so after they go to the Bush Museum, I really like the commentary that they're doing of like, Dale is no longer crazy because the world has gotten to a point where conspiracy theorists like Dale are not fucking crazy anymore. Like, they are, but it's so like just accepted right now that you can come on there and be like, the moon is made out of cheese and we never went to the moon, and they project that in the sky every night, and it wouldn't seem crazy because people on the internet are like, you know what, yeah, hell yeah.
I don't think anybody believes we went to the moon.
Do you believe we went to the moon?
You know?
No, I do. We go to space, why wouldn't we go to the moon?
Like the craziest.
I just thought you were gonna say no.
Or flat earthers.
I can't stand a flat earther.
There's just no way.
I really cannot stand a flat earther. It makes no sense.
There being a big ice wall that pisses off.
Yeah, that pisses me off. Because why wouldn't we see it? Why wouldn't we see an ice wall? Why wouldn't we be able to touch it? No, like, no, that's just how you don't fall off. Shut up, you're stupid.
Well, they're saying that like the government restricts people from going far enough to be able to see the wall and stuff like that.
Girl, we'd have seen it by now, though. Somebody somewhere would have seen it. I just truly know that they would have, you know? Especially if it's been there forever, from the beginning of time. Come on, girls. Like, we've got to stop being so dumb all the time. Any fucking ways. I wrote down that I liked, and this part gets a little sticky for me, but I wrote down that I liked that Joseph said he was a white dude. And he's like, I'm the only white guy. I love that part. And then Emilio goes to say something, and Bobby just holds his finger up like this. I thought that was really funny. It makes a lot of sense. I don't really like, because it a little bit felt like they were trying to be like, we had to replace Khan because he was voiced by a white dude and y'all got mad at us, because they start talking about the voice of Speedy Gonzalez being white. And like, I do understand that people are like happy of the, what is it called, representation of Hispanic people, and they get to see like an Hispanic character being a hero, and that is cool. But I don't like the commentary of like, Yeah, it was a good thing. Y'all should let white people do it because no, like shut up. Actually, like it was cool that Hank had a Laotian neighbor and he had to like get to know him, but it also would be cool if a Laotian person played him. That's just like shut up, shut the fuck up.
Especially with how thick of an accent that he had too.
Yeah, it was like really crazy. Like, I don't know. I can't speak too much on it, but what I can say is I don't like that they're trying to be like, see, white people can do stuff, Because, like, yeah, they can do white stuff. They can fucking be white people all day.
They can do stuff, but it doesn't mean they should do it.
Now, Bobby's restaurant. Being half German, one, funny, because I feel like Cotton Hill would have lost his fucking mind about that. What do you mean you're cooking German food right now? Fused with Japanese food, right? Is Japanese or is that racism?
I think it's Japanese.
Doesn't matter, because the thing about it is that it felt like Bobby took Cotton's two biggest enemies and mashed them together. But the white people committee I wrote down, which is actually the German committee, the German, what is it? German ethnic committee. Don't know, don't care. They come in and they're like, it's what's your lineage or whatever, and he starts talking about it because there's no German in there, and the guy says it'd be best if it was pure German. That felt gross to me. That felt like a Nazi joke a little bit, and we just don't need that, especially in an episode where they're trying to be like, see, Bobby's doing all the right things by all the people, and he's trying really hard to like make sure that everything's cool, And then to be like, also, this guy's a Nazi, so Bobby's trying to impress a Nazi. Not cool. Like, not cool at all. And then, fucking the mention of Cotton's 50 men inside of this.
That was one of my favorite jokes.
So funny. I think that's my favorite part of the episode, and it is why I scored the episode so highly. I specifically scored this episode so high for Chain Wasana Song because he's funny as fuck. He makes me laugh every time he's on the fucking screen. And then Chain's dad, what's his name? God damn, what's his name? Oh my god, what is his name?
Oh god.
No, what's his name?
I can't remember what his name is.
Ted.
Yeah.
Okay. I scored this episode so highly because Ted Wasana Song, I'm pretty sure it has to be voiced by the same voice actor because he sounds exactly the same. He looks like he's perfectly aged for the character. That was really funny. I like him as a character coming back. So the Wasana songs, perfect the whole time. Ted and Chain, very funny. I've lost my point. What was I talking about? Oh, and the return of the 50 men. That's exactly why I scored this so highly. This episode, full of nostalgia for me. Besides the like, white people should be able to do whatever they want. Don't really like that. I'm not saying that's what they were saying, but it feels like that's the undercut of this all. Will you quit ADHD in over there and just listen to what the fuck I'm saying?
I'm listening.
And I really love that the guy's talking about, is your grandfather Fitty Man? Is your grandfather Cotton Hill? And he's like, yeah, girl, that's my grandpa. And he goes, he killed my grandfather. And I'm just, shout out to that. You know, I love every mention of Cotton. I love Cotton. I wish they wouldn't have killed Cotton off. I want him to come back. So, here's another thing I noticed. Hank's driving his original truck from the original series, right? He kept it in storage. He talked about the battery stuffs and how he took care of it, all this other stupid shit. But I also noticed that he let Dale smoke in his truck. Are you fucking dumb? In what world, and I understand that Dale's a big smoky guy, but in what world would Hank let him smoke inside of his truck? Because Hank doesn't smoke anymore.
Bader.
It feels like he would care a whole lot if his truck smelled like cigarette smoke. So that made no fucking sense to me and I didn't like it. Any opinions?
I don't know. I guess I didn't see it as a big deal.
It was a huge deal to me. A huge deal. Why would you ever think that that was okay for Hank Hill to do? So down here, I once again have it mentioned wrench. I once again have it mentioned. Did I call a fucking seizure and a stroke, dude? But I once again have it mentioned that Robata is being a type of food and not after Bobby. Love that. Top tier comedy to me. I also really like when they go to see Mr. Is it Mr. Wong that is selling the charcoal? And they're like being very subtly racist to him. And they're like,
he's one of my favorite characters too, by the way, like side characters.
yeah. And Shane is like, come on, dude, go get him, you know? And he's like, it's me. And he's like, he's about this tall. Like, that's fucking crazy. Shane is so funny. And then, I like that he's like, you just bought, like, your, token Asian guy to try to get this, even though you're white. And then, I really thought the joke was funny where he's like, then I'll just get you for trying to shut down black-owned businesses. And Shane goes, that's not fair. You can't play 2 race cards at once. Once again, a little subtly racist. I'll keep it real, but also a little funny. And maybe I shouldn't laugh at it, but that part made me laugh a lot.
I feel like a joke that would be inside the old season 2.
Yeah, that felt like prime time old King of the Hill. Also, it's finally time to talk about the shoe that got thrown at George W. Bush was at the museum. And like they're walking by and they're like, this is the shoe that was thrown at George W. Bush. Love that. Funny. You have to put the clip in. Put it in right now. Boom. Got it. So down here I have Bobby only caring about it being authentic, which once again, to me, I'm not gonna have my hair look like that. Which once again, to me, made it feel like they're being like, oh, see, Bobby's like white, but he's like doing it coolly, you know? Grow up. I don't need more comments on that. And I do think that it's fair for people to not want their cultures being used by people who don't understand the culture, you know? And of course, they're trying to be like, yeah, Bobby's white, but he understands the culture. But like, does he really? You know? He's a white boy in Texas. Shut up. There's also, when they're inside of the office at Robata Chain, and they're talking to Ted, and Ted goes, this business can't fail, because if it does, Shane's gonna go back to being a DJ. Something about that made me laugh so hard, because it makes so much sense for him to want to drop. It makes so much sense for me to him to want to drop out of business school to go be a DJ, because that feels like it fits Shane's lifestyle so much better than business school. And then when they're sitting around the table and Shane whispers, business, I thought that was super funny too.
His character is just so great. You know?
Yeah, I really like Chain's character. He's I almost said he's my number one character again, but like I've continued to say that this whole time. I'm trying to find a different way to word it. Shut the fuck up. And then my very last one, Hank was playing George W. Bush, right? A shoe gets thrown at him, not once, but twice. And I thought that was such a good callback to the clip that you've already put in the video, but you can put it in there again. That shoe being thrown at George W. Bush.
Shoe penalty 0.
Because that's one of my all-time favorite, like, political moments.
Like cultural moments.
Yeah, like that's so funny to me, and I love it. But I think so as a new episode, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I don't know if I still stand on that. But, like, it does kind of feel like an older King of the Hill episode in a way. Not like season 1 or nothing, but like towards the end, like Man at Con Day and stuff like that, it kind of feels like it would fit in there. And as a reboot, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it is probably one of the better episodes of the new season.
Yeah. They had a lot of Chain in there, so it's just really good.
Yeah, honestly, the more Chain I get, the better it is, I think. Because Chain is really good this season. And I think that's everything I have to say about this one. Anything you want to put in, inputs from you? So, if you made it this far, bitch, like, comment, and subscribe.
Comment back to everything.
Yeah. We comment to every single comment.
Good or bad, we always do.
We love responding in the comments. If you've ever commented a hate video on our video, we've started a fight with you in the comments. And that's my favorite thing about us. So tell us your favorite part of this episode, or comment something mean so we can comment mean things back to you.
You're not going to find a single channel that replies back. That quickly or without it.
Literally. We respond like almost immediately to every comment. If it takes us a long time, it's us screenshotting it and sending it to each other first and then responding. But most of the time we're there 100% ready to fight you or to like give you advice, what the fuck ever we do on this stupid bitch. That is one of our favorite things, or my favorite things about our channel. But we'll see you in the next one, bitch. We'll see you on episode 4.